There's the second tallest roller coaster in Europe. I'm walking away from Energylandia after a really horrible day. It's not worth coming here. I'm only joking. 45 minutes until the park opens and I decided to just have a look at Hyperion. Welcome to yet another vlog. I'm going to be at Energylandia for the first time. I'll be here again tomorrow, and just like the Porto and Tura video, you'll see both days in the same vlog. They've let us in bang on 10 o'clock. We're going to work our way to the back of the park first to ride at Abyssus. It's like you can hear the Champions League music playing as you walk out the tunnel. And I can't even see Zadra. After about 10 minutes of fast walking, finally made it to Aqualantis, which is the area in which Abyssus lies. Here we go with Abyssus. This theming is amazing, oh my god. I've had a minor inconvenience there. You need to pay 12 zloty for a wristband to put your bags in lockers, so that's just important information to know because I didn't know that. Abyssus is done. Unfortunately, it's bang average. Oh my god, we're gonna have to put our bag in lockers again. We're gonna do Light Explorers now. Light Explorers, I don't really have a lot to say, it's just another credit. We're the only people on the ride. So the third ride on Abyssus on the back row. It's quite forceful and it does have some strong pops of airtime. I don't know if it's the vest restraints. As a tall person, just leave me feeling a little underwhelmed. Tidal Wave Twister. Just go on this. Time for Aqualantis Grotto expedition. Getting everything done in this area. So this is Chocolate Chip Creek, the new Vekoma mine train that's getting built in the Sweet Valley area. I think it could be at least a month before this area opens. Now let's go into Dragon Zone and ride some roller coasters. Finally, it's time. I can't wait to ride Frida. Frida's actually okay. On the back row, the drop genuinely is queuing fun. No more jokes and games. Here it is. Here we go. This is a really weird queuing system. That's probably the smoothest coaster I've ever been on. Though unfortunately, the lap bars and the shin bars seem to make it difficult to fully enjoy the ride. Just ridden that second from back. It's a lot better on the back. You get whipped over the drops, you can feel the airtime a lot more. I was in the middle for my first ride. I'm starting to feel bruises on my shins already, so that's one thing. Just done Drachen, 5th credit of them all. Let's get a third ride on Zadra. Just had a total of 4 rides on Zadra, and I think currently that's going to be my 4th favourite roller coaster of all time. Maybe a bit controversial, but I think being as tall as I am, this ride is quite uncomfortable, and for that reason I prefer Shambhala at the moment. We've had enough time in the back area of the park. We're now going to ride Formula, another next gen Vekoma. Oh, I thought it went there next, never mind. Formula really is quite a nice little coaster. It's really smooth, really comfortable, really fun. That's some really cheap fuel. Smoothest coaster I've ridden. Could it be the roughest coaster I've ridden? Furious Bacco says no, but it's an SLC. It's quite rough, but with vest restraints, at least there's no headbanging. We're going to go on this drop tower, which from first impressions looks like the worst drop tower I've ever seen. The drop tower growing out my head is one of the weirdest drop towers I've done. It has about 10 drops in its cycle, and I can describe it only as a large frog hopper. We're gonna do this next. I'm a little terrified. I don't know why there's over the shoulder restraints on a wild mouse coaster. Got the rain jacket on now. Pretty dark cloud over there. Done Viking roller coaster, whatever it's called. It wasn't too bad, but my shoulders hurt a bit. Gonna do Boomerang now, Vekoma family Boomerang. That's a pretty good view over there. Just done Boomerang. Probably one of the nicest stations in the park, to be honest. The theming's pretty decent. It's Crazy Bats RMF Dragon roller coaster up next. I don't know what RMF stands for. This is the definition of a planet coaster coaster. There's no brake run. really mega fun dragon roller coaster. It's quite good. Just had 2 rides on Dragon roller coaster. Now it's time to start whittling down on some of the credits. There's 2 kiddie coasters in this area, Mars and Happy Loops, I think. It's not Happy Loops, it's called Circus Coaster. Let's see if I can fit. Another credit, Mars roller coaster, I think this one is. Let's go. Normal people when they see me trying to ride a kiddie coaster. We're on a roll, time for another credit, Happy Loops. SPF Visa spinning coaster. There's about 100 of these in the world and somehow I've not been on one until now. Is this an upcharge attraction? Contactless payment? If you have anything broken, whatever you do, don't go there. It'll make it worse. Ouch. I'm up here at the top of some red building. I just got noodles from this volcano. I recommend getting them. They cost about 26 zloty, which is about £5, which is ridiculously cheap. It's a massive portion. More rides on Zadra. They really use the 4-meter pathing option in Planet Coaster. On the front row, you now have to wear goggles. I've now been on Zadra 14 times today. That is the most I've actually ever ridden any roller coaster. I've decided that it's better than Shambhala, and it's quite close to Untamed. This element over here, it makes me nearly grey out. Crikey, she's quick. Throughout that Zadra marathon, I have noticed how much the ride's speeding up. Honestly, it feels like it's absolutely hauling at the moment. Get out of the way. That would have been perfect. Looks like a storm is brewing. Quite an impressive view even from so far away. You guessed it, we're back at Abyssus and I'm going to give this ride another chance. A queue in Energylandia? What's going on? I'm not gonna lie, my camera had a nightmare there focusing on the right thing. Like, look at that mess. After giving it another chance, that ride has definitely grown on me. This person's taller than me, what? After a 5th ride on Abyssus, I do really like that now. It's got some good airtime and it's also quite forceful. Probably a top 20 coaster. The other thing, I've also worked out how the lockers work now and I have to say, you pay 12 zloty, which really isn't that much, and it works really well. I'm not saying this for the first time, but time for speed. Time for speed. I'm noticing a bit of a trend at this park. Some of the theming is really good, but they kind of ruin it by naming the rides really generic names. Like, this is called Speed Water Coaster, which has nothing to do with the pirate theme that it clearly has, and I didn't even know about this theme until I'm here. They're literally playing Pirates of the Caribbean music. Copyright much? Speed was pretty good. I can see why they call it Speed. With a straight drop, you build up a lot of speed, and the roller coaster section is surprisingly fun. On the front row especially, feel the wind, it's quite a nice ride. Time for the river rapids, back-to-back water rides. Jungle Adventure, the name of the river rapids here in Energylandia. Here we go! It's a pretty tame river rapids, quite slow. There's a few random big splashes as speed goes by. There's a few big waves on this section, but no, mostly it's quite slow. Walking past Happy Loops. After about 10 laps on this, it didn't make me happy. Fruity Loop Coaster. Woo! Energus, the final roller coaster of the day. These look like knee bars, not shin bars. the last ride of the day of an awesome day at Energylandia. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. I'm only joking. It's quite small, so I nearly missed it, but let's go on the second tallest roller coaster in Europe. Wow, really good theming actually. So apparently they're calling this a shopping trolley. If it's anything like a shopping trolley, it's going to be quite a rough ride. I hope it's not. Let's see what it's like. First ride on Hyperion. First thing first, they had to measure my height. I managed to ride it though. On an outer seat, that thing's quite rough and the restraints come down very tightly, so it almost doesn't let you enjoy the airtime the same way that you could on, for example, a B&M Hyper like Shambhala. From the first ride, I'm not that impressed. Second ride in Hyperion coming next. I'm going to sit in the middle seat this time, hopefully it's smoother. Splashdown not working. Wow, we just about managed to avoid a rain ride on Hyperion. So whilst we wait in the rain, I'll give my thoughts on Hyperion. I know I've been on Untamed and obviously Zadra today, but I think this has the strongest airtime I've ever seen. It really hurts your thighs. The ejector airtime on that hill, absolutely insane. The other thing, being in the middle seat makes it a lot smoother. Now, I've been on every coaster in the park. I think I'm up to 180 credits, Hyperion being number 180. There's about 40 minutes left of opening hours, and we're going to finish it with Zadra. Broken Rail Coaster 1 doesn't look very safe. As it turns out, they're changing the trains. I don't know why they do this 20 minutes before the park closes. So we've got no rides so far, but whatever. I'm not filming a POV, don't worry. They're just waiting for people to come in, so it's a bit of a shame. Trying to get a mini marathon at the end of the day, but it's not possible when they're waiting. So that was my 18th and final ride of the day on Zadra. Unfortunately, changing the trains made it run significantly slower, but it's still a great ride. My shins are coping actually okay, but my shins do look like this. That's just what you have to do if you want to ride an RMC. But that's not all. I'll be back here tomorrow. It's such a colourful park, and lit up like this, it does look stunning. But unfortunately, in my opinion, I think this park has expanded too quickly, and that might not seem like a bad thing, but a lot of the areas are incohesive and they seem rushed. Here, there's a volcano. What's that doing there?
The next day.
Day 2 Energylandia. Walking to the park this time. It's here today, Saturday morning. Oh. Well, there's the first Zadra train of the day. But actually, we're going to do Wonder Wheel now. Quite a lot of work going on over there. And also, that. Is that the start of the rumoured tilt coaster Energylandia have been said to be getting? Yeah, this area's still got quite a lot of work to do. I don't think it's going to open anytime soon, honestly. A beautiful view of one of the best coasters in Europe. So that kinda failed. We were hoping to see a Zadra train go round, but we almost went there too early and there was no trains. Okay, enough messing around. Time to get back on Zadra. Somehow, the first morning ride is running even faster than it was when I finished with it last night. I don't know how that's happened, but you can tell from the large airtime hill, that definitely gave airtime that time. Just been on Zadra 5 times in the morning. Quite good. I think it might be competing with Untamed for my number 2 spot. They are going on this dragon adventure for some views of Zadra. Here's a pretty good view of Choco Chip Creek, and you can see that there's quite a lot of theming yet to come. They have these pedals on this ride, but they literally don't do anything. What is the point, Energylandia? The whip on this element, oh my god. Time for the first water ride of the day, the Nicki Minaj ride. We have to walk under here. Just about made it. Let's go. Anaconda got me wet. Oh, let's take swing. Oh, this looks intense. Oh, that was intense. Let's go on Apocalypto now, getting all the flat rides done. The sketchiest flat ride I've ever been on. Hangs you upside down. It's requires quite a lot of strength. It really is quite a forceful family coaster. Almost too forceful for a family coaster. I feel like dizzy getting off that. Back at the front of the park. Let's give Hyperion another chance. Came in like a wrecking ball. Here we go. Third ride in Hyperion. On the front. Just had two rides on Hyperion. First ride on the front row, second ride somewhere in the middle. Sitting in the middle seat stops the roughness, in my opinion. Some really strong airtime. Unfortunately, it's difficult to not get stapled, and it does hurt your thighs. Obviously, Sky Rush over in Hershey Park is known for hurting your thighs a bit. In my opinion, this is the European Sky Rush. Noodles, second day in a row, and coming soon, that's all I'm going to say. Let's get back on Formula. Sauce, trust me bro. Hyperion opened in the same year. Formula really is a fun little coaster. It packs a lot of airtime, intensity, and even some hang time in a really short layout. Hyperion again. Wow, Hyperion might have just redeemed itself. I was on the back row, wing seat, arguably the roughest seat, but it was actually bearable. Sometimes it takes a bit of time to start appreciating something, and that's definitely the case with Hyperion. After a fifth ride, I can finally see the good in it. I'm going to ride it a few more times now. Also, one thing I brushed upon a bit earlier in the video was the height restriction. This is the only ride that I've ever had my height actually measured to see if I can ride. The limit is 195 centimeters, and when I stand up my tallest, I'm 197, but I managed to make my neck disappear a little bit, and they said it's fine to ride. They measured my height with an actual scientific height measuring thing, which was really weird. Seventh total ride on Hyperion. That is definitely pushing towards becoming one of my top 10 coasters. You may be able to hear some revving engines, and that's because we're going to go and see Extreme Energylandia, which is quite a well-renowned show. What he's looking for. Will Griggs on fire. What is going on? This is why your Amazon delivery's not arrived yet. That can't be good for the environment. That stunt show was absolutely amazing. We're back here in Aqualantis yet again for some more rides on Abyssus. It looks a lot busier now, which makes it even more amazing that this ride included is only on 0 minutes, just like many others. Decent. Let's go on Abyssus. Back row, Abyssus. Best ride I've had so far. I don't know if I slept on that yesterday, but it's so much better than I remembered. There's some bits where I'm verging on graying out and a lot of really good quality airtime. Just had an amazing ice cream from here that cost literally £1.26. Energylandia food for the most part is really, really nice. There's a good variety and it's really cheap as well.
Such a bargain and proper nice as well.
And on top of that, there's no rules against bringing your own food in. Take notes, Portaventura. That was my 10th overall ride on Abyssus. This ride has grown on me quite a lot. It's up near the top 15 for me now. Lots of intensity, lots of inversions, lots of airtime. Let's get back on Zadra. Look at this! There's a stalk! Unfortunately, Zadra has a bit of a queue now, and this gate's closed, which means it's impossible to re-ride it back to back because you have to walk about a mile between each ride. I'm feeling quite sad now. Time for one last ride on Zadra, on the back row. There's a few reasons why I'm finishing it now. First of all, it looks like they're about to change the trains just like they did yesterday. The lights on the maintenance building turned on and there's people there who look like they're waiting to change it. And I think it's better value of our time to go and ride Hyperion while they do that. And also, with 25 total rides, I think it's a nice number to leave it on. I've decided that Zadra is my second favourite roller coaster of all time. I think the pacing and just the way that it flows from element to element is absolutely amazing, and that's why I prefer it to Untamed. Goodbye Zadra, I'm gonna miss you, big fella. I'm gonna go on this because why not? Mate, they literally dispatched the train before I even sat down. 2 minutes later, just come out of the monster house. The best advice I can give is to not queue for it, because that's the worst dark ride I've ever done. There's not even any animatronics, it's just looking at models that are a little bit in the dark. But here at DJB Coasters, we go on the rubbish rides so that you don't have to. Time to finish the day on Hyperion. Had a bit of an in-betweeners moment there. We queued for the front row, but they've cut us off and said we have to go to the back. Bye! Just had my 10th overall ride on this monster of a roller coaster, which has now made its way into my top 10. I've decided that the roughness is bearable, and if you're not stapled, that drop can be absolutely incredible. The sun sets behind me on a fantastic 2 days at Energylandia. While Energylandia is no longer the hidden secret that it once was, even on a weekend day like today, the queues are still really short for such a big park, which is perfect if you want to get loads of re-rides on these coasters. I've had 25 rides on Zadra and then 10 on both Abyssus and Hyperion. In 2 days I'll be at Legendia to ride Let Coaster, which could be better than any ride here, so stay tuned for that. But with that said, thank you for watching and goodbye.
Buckle up, it's a chill ride.